Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. Yeah, I'm fighting with the cameras. Let's get started. I was playing that stupid game, and time got away from me because I had so much time. You know how you start with so much time, and then you don't have no time. Well, looky here. I'm at the no time mark. Y'all. Here we go. Okay. Still adjusting the cameras. If you guys started, you can go ahead. Betsy wasn't moving. Ha ha ha. Hey. I got the rubber band over my face so I can't see myself. Oh, a lot better this morning, y'all. That's why I had to do this walk. Still dizzy, but still walking. Oh. And for some reason, you can't comment on my walk. You can't send me hugs and kisses and support on Facebook. I don't know what happened, but you can't do it anymore. But I know you're there. I'll send you the love. You look at the video and I'll send you the love. So that's that. And of course, it takes like 1,000 people for me to go live on YouTube. And trust me, 1,000 people is not looking at an old crow walking on the treadmill. I just motivate my friends and such. And a lot of my friends don't use Facebook. So I had to, the people who I really want to touch don't have Facebook or don't go on Facebook. And so YouTube is a way to snatch me up. Now, this is what I want to talk to you about. I posted, a friend of my enemy is my enemy. I know that other BS that they have, just like they said, keep your enemies close and your friends. Bullshit. Bullshit. Let me tell you what happens when your enemy is close. They stab you in your back. And if you have a true friend that you're a friend of, you know it's a friend. I have friends that have blocked things, fought things, have done so much. And I didn't even know people was coming after me. But they knew. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm a good friend. And that's what I wanted to use as an example. Me. Now, thanks for the love. Thanks for the love. I know y'all can't do it, but I'm just going to say because I know y'all want to do it while you're looking at the video, but you can't do it. I don't know what YouTube is doing. Facebook is doing. So I'll just say thanks for the love. Thanks for the love. Okay. So, oh yeah, I'll use myself as an example. There was what we call the Greenwich Yearbook incident. That's what we call it. That's what the papers call it and everything. In Greenwich, Connecticut, where they put a hate message in the yearbook, but they had it decoded in different things. The only people who knew it were the kids, and of course, it's one of the kids who released it. So, and the message said, "Kill all niggers." Oh gosh, I'm gonna get strike. Oh boy, I used the N-word, but that's what the message said. I'm just telling you what the message said. So, my daughter was like, what are you going to do, Mom? What are you going to do? And I was like, oh, I have to do something because if the parents don't do anything, the children would. And I didn't want her to get into this hate group and then they're going to do something that's going to change it. So I stepped in right away. Me, Miss Harris, and my friend Joyce. I didn't know Joyce then. Joyce was already fighting the town of Greenwich for discrimination. So I was working with Miss Harris, and we were on the other, we were like, it's not true, don't listen to what you say. We're trying to tell the kids, don't listen to what they say. They're just confused kids. We don't have these kind of problems at Greenwich High School. I sound like Kamala Harris. I can tell a lie with a smile too. And some of the kids bought it, and my daughter and other kids, they weren't buying it. They wanted something more. So who was doing something more? Joyce McKenzie. Oh, sorry, Joyce. She was head of the Coalition for Justice out of Greenwich, Connecticut. So someone I was talking to suggested that I go to speak with Joyce. It could have been my daughter, because Joyce wanted them prosecuted. Where I was doing kumbaya with the kids, you know, it's a bunch of meatheads that don't know nothing. You know, we're in 5 minutes already. I'm not paying no attention. And I went over to Joyce, Coalition for Justice. And we were going to do, we wanted the kids brought to justice for hate crime. So I didn't know at that time that Joyce had stepped on a lot of people's foot, and of course she did, because she was a Coalition for Justice. She was pushing for justice, all that discrimination, all that rape, all that stuff that I was sitting there saying, like Kamala Harris, it doesn't exist. Joyce was saying, this shit exists. If you don't do something to stop it, it's going to continue. So I wound up being with her. And as we went along, I found out that Joyce had a lot of enemies. I wasn't one of them. I was a friend. So I didn't talk about Joyce with anyone else but Joyce, my daughter. Even my boyfriend at the time couldn't stand Joyce. We never talked about her, because I didn't want him to say anything bad, derogatory, anything about Joyce. Because she was fighting against discrimination. And that took a lot of guts. So yeah, she had faults up the kazooing. But I'm a friend. I know the enemies are around her. So we go on. We had to write this book about British High. Yeah, what we had to do was collect how many incidents of racial things that was going on at the high school. Thanks for the love, thanks for the love, thanks for the support. And we found out, I almost fell out the chair because I was doing the typing. They would go, I went also a couple of times to get the Xerox copies, because there'd be little blurbs in the Greenwich Times about, like, kids throwing pennies at minority children, at white kids throwing pennies at the minority kids at Greenwich High School. They come in with a gorilla mask, and they would throw it on and at African American kids. A few more things, but those two really stuck out. And also the other ones are older, where they just, I think I do have that whole booklet with a lot of incidents. And a lot of people really did not like Joyce. But she was able to do what she had to do. I was around her. You couldn't really get near her or close to her to do anything. If you confronted her about something and we were together, I encouraged her to walk away, because we're not having this. I'm not doing it. If you tried to get me by myself and talk about Joyce, I'm not talking about it with you. You want to talk about discrimination, I'll talk about discrimination. You want to talk about a racist town, I'll talk about a racist town. I am not talking about Joyce because she is fighting against racism. And I'm against racism. That's my friend. I'm protecting her. So that's why I wrote the friends of my enemy. Are also my enemies. They'll never be my friends. And there's a lot of people that I met that didn't like Joyce. I never befriended them. To this day. There were some people I was friends with before I met Joyce, who when I started working with her with the Coalition for Justice, I found out they didn't like her. But what I did is we didn't discuss her. What I said was, I support Joyce. If that's how it would go. I'd be somewhere and I said, oh, me and Joyce Kinsey, we're going to meet up and we're going to do that. And they said, Joyce, I can't. I said, oh. Wait a minute, let me stop you right now. Let me stop you. Slow your roll, back the truck up. She's standing for us against racism. I'm not going to talk bad about her, and I'm not going to stand here and let you talk bad about her. And some people say, oh, it's like that, and I was like, yup. And Joyce was the same way with me. She was the same way with me. We were fighting racism and discrimination. And we had each other's back. We didn't let enemies get close. We didn't let enemies get near. The force field of friends did what she was doing. And that's what it is, a force field to protect you. So that's why I wrote that text. But of course, I sent it to like the independent and the Democrats and stuff like that because they don't understand anything like that. And what they wrote is, enemy, what are you talking about, enemy? Okay, a person who's trying to take away your right to vote, your representation, you paying taxes and stuff like that, and they try to take it away. Yes, they are your enemies. What the hell? Without the vote, we have Jim Crow. Do you remember what Jim Crow was? When you had to jump off the sidewalk when a white person walked through, if not, you go to jail. Do you remember what Jim Crow was? I mean, black law. So it was black law. Jim Crow was whites only. White fountain. Blacks here. That's what you want? I don't want it. And if you want black law, black code, then you are my enemy. And any friend you have is my enemy. Never my friend. Never my friend. So, that's why I put that. Yes, if you support Republicans, you're no friend of mine. Once I find out. Because you're saying to me, you don't want me to have any rights in this country. How can you be my friend? And if you have someone standing next to you saying, yeah, I don't want you to vote anymore. That person next to you is not my friend. Will never be my friend. So, that's why I posted it. And then I posted about Kamala Harris. Until we face that this country is racist, we will not eliminate it. Don't they say that about cancer? Don't they say that about everything else? Until you acknowledge, then it will never go away. I acknowledge it and I want it to go away. But if you try to take a vote away from me so you can enact your laws that take away my property, your laws that strip me just because of the color of my skin, just because of the color of my skin, then you're my enemy. And all your friends are my enemy. So I thought that at the independents, the socialists, the Green Party, but I think I'm going green. Hey, we have 15 minutes already, but I'm not taking a break. I'm just going to sip some water. Because if I stop, my world is still spinning around, y'all. But this is the credit of this body. I love this body of mine. I love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. We are better today than we were yesterday. We've taken care of our tooth infections because we don't have any infections. I mean, we had that because, but that also happened from coronas. Long story, but if you look at yesterday's or the day before yesterday's tape, you'll find out. Video. So, that's what I mean, but independent, and yes, atrocious spelling. I found out that you can get white people to read your stuff if you have incorrect spelling. They love to point that out. Especially seeing my brown face there. They love to, and I love the fact that they read it. That's what I learned from Dr. Phil. On Dr. Phil, he put those women, the white women and white men that made Nigeria, that is putting millions of dollars into that country. Well, here's what Dr. Phil. And they looked at it and it was misspelled. And that's what he would always point out. And they said, we do it. I didn't do it. Because I just misspell all the time. You understand what I'm saying. And they said they do it on purpose. One, it works. They know you read it. They communicate with it, and then they get $120,000. I'm retired. I don't have no $120,000. $500,000 they give to Nigeria. I'm retired. I don't have no $500,000. They take credit cards out to send them folks money. That ain't about to happen to me. My credit is shot. It has always been shot. I've never made enough money to sustain a credit card. You got to make money to sustain a credit card. Oh. When I had a charge card, all I paid was late fees. And like I said, the lowest I've ever had a charge card for, interest rate, maybe 18%. I've had one at 25%. I know people say there's 3% and they get 6%, and they're usually white people, maybe a sprinkling or a smattering of minorities, but no. So all these women, I mean, she's like, oh, I maxed out my charge card, I mortgaged my house, and so they had all these things to give. So they build Nigeria. I try to tell my Nigerian people that try to get friends with me and use captains and they, all kind of crazy stuff they use on the face to get me. And oh darling, you are lovely. Why did you inbox me? I said, bro, you at the wrong house. You got to go someplace else. You got to get you got to go someplace else. Since the girl ain't, she don't cut it off, she don't break it off like that. She didn't make it like that. Yeah, I worked all my life, but in this country, that only, they work all your life. You make other people's rich. So, Don't come to me. Find the rich people. They out there. That's my take on the Nigerians. Ha! We got 10 minutes to go, y'all. 10 minutes to go. And I want to tell you the beauty about walking. If I hadn't started walking in January, when this whole tooth infection thing came up, I don't think my body would have been healthy enough to... I so love this body that I have. How I was able to fight off, it's just that, sis, give me a little help, and we're going to knock it out. And I gave it a little help, and I can just tell you how I'm feeling. I just can tell you. It's wonderful. Still got the wobblies, let me see. All right. Not so much the wobblies. Way better. I couldn't do this yesterday. So you see, how can you not love your body? Oh my God. You can watch it, you feel it heal itself. The infection gets in and then the body just heals it. Oh, Maron, I love my body. This is my matter. It's my energy inside, but this is my matter. And I love my matter. My matter matters to me. And it's healing me. And it made sure that regardless, yesterday the world was spinning. I should have went down the hall like this, holding on to the wall. But I came down and I walked and I took care of my business. And it's because of this matter. 63 years, this matter. And I have been together. And it's wonderful, especially when it starts healing itself. I think the best part about the body, like when I get a cut, and I look, and I take peroxide and I pour on it. Because old people, little cuts and scrapes like that, you need to pour some peroxide. I don't use alcohol, none of that burning stuff. Somebody put in their thing about mercurochrome. I almost freaked out. As a child, I'd rather be beat than have mercurochrome put on my sore. That thing, it didn't just burn. It wasn't a topical burn. It was a burn that went all the way to your soul. Oh, that thing. I said, well, no germs will be able to get through. I was like, sure what? That thing burned down to, like I said, my soul as a child. I'd rather have, say, mercurochrome, and there was another red one. I would always pick the other red one over mercurochrome. And alcohol? No. I did not know. They weren't big with peroxide. I don't know if peroxide was big back then. But I get my little cut, I pour my peroxide over it, and then I watch it. And I watch the whole closing up of the wound. And I am in awe of my own body, my matter. But I've been in awe of it for years. For years. I tell you, as a young person, I know less than 7 days was my healing time for any and everything. Less than 7 days. So I'm proud to be walking. Happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Boy, I better not shake my head too much. I know ain't nobody watching this old prone walk but friends. And I appreciate it. Much love, much love. I'm sorry you can't comment with the live, but I think I pissed Facebook off. And when you piss Facebook off, this happens. So, sorry you guys can't comment. But I feel the love. I feel the burn. I feel the love. Yeah. I don't even know if the tags go through. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. And that's what it is. I can't get to 1,000 people. Especially for walking and exercising. And I ain't naked or flailing titties all over the place. So, I don't see myself getting 1,000 views for a morning walk. When old people hate to walk. I motivate my friends. I'm grateful for that, you see? And I have friends like me. And that's why I keep them close. I remember this guy in Brooklyn, New York. He was a congressman. I can't think of his name. And this young boy was running against him. Hated him. Hated him. Hated him. I mean, he's not the only one. I've been on this earth 63 years. And I've been reading, 8th grade. So let's say adults since 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 40 years. That's a lot of years. When you look back on it to do some adding and subtraction about stuff. And the one I remember is this congressman in New York. He has this young guy, and they're going into a session, and the young guy's with him. Didn't like him, do not like him, but he went with that old bullshit, keep your enemies close. Uh-oh. I done said BS. That could be another reason why y'all can't comment on Facebook. Probably why the live. Well, when I see the live, when I come to look at it, but it could just be me. So, the guy didn't want to go through the metal detector. So he took the guy around the metal detector. And after the guy got around the metal detector in the State House, he shot the politician. He shot him. And he said the guy knew I didn't like it. Like, he knew he helped his enemy get around the gun protection thing to shoot him. That man wasn't his friend. He never even said he was his friend. But the Brooklyn politician said, oh, I know that you as my enemy, so I'm going to keep you close. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Keep your enemies away from you. Do an aura, manifestation, manifest an aura, protection around yourself. Friends, true friends, they will protect you, especially if it's for a cause. They will protect you as best they can. And if they manifest an aura protection, you'll be cool. So I don't keep my enemy. Nope. People who have known me all these years, they don't look at and they can't ever say, oh, Vicky, you sit with that girl? I thought she was talking about you. Nope. Never said that. Oh, you hanging out with that guy? I thought he didn't like you. Never said it to me. I don't do it. I don't do it. You look at me and say I don't like you, you ain't never got to worry about me no more. You ain't even got to worry about bumping into me. That's how removed you are. Whew, we did it, y'all. Another walk. Another walk down. Another walk bites the dust. Hey, right? Let's see. I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking I'm walking. Thank you for the company. Well, Facebook ain't letting y'all through. I'm talking to myself and walking. Walking. I wish I had some company, but Facebook is blocking them. Much love. I'm walking. Yes, indeed. I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just for me. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm probably in some kind of Facebook jail, and it has to do with, I'm probably on some kind of Facebook punishment. Hey, it's a half hour walk. I'm probably on some kind of Facebook punishment that I don't know, so infraction, I don't know what I did, but they're not allowing any comments on my live. I mean, it's their world. I just visited. Thanks, YouTube.